Greetings, everybody. Jeremy from Follow Me Leadership, and I want to talk to you about when you feel like you were bullied growing up, and now you're being bullied in your job by your manager. It does happen, maybe not a lot, but it does happen to many of us. This is something that a subject that I think I'm pretty passionate about. I grew up being bullied in grade school, and then found myself many years later in the workplace being bullied by a manager. It's first and foremost, I'm gonna address this. My advice would be just how I would tell somebody who's being bullied in school. You need to push back. If you're being pushed around, you need to stand up for yourself and push back. It's as simple as that. I'm not trying to say that we all need to get physical. That's certainly nothing we should ever try to do in the workplace. But if you're being pushed around and being made to feel uncomfortable or just being made to feel terrible about yourself, about your job, then you need to stand up for yourself and address it with your manager directly. Another thing that you can do, talk to your coworkers, and for a number of reasons. One, you want to find out is, do they see this? Do they see you being pushed around or being treated terribly by your boss? If so, that's good, because you'll have some support with you as you address this with your manager or elsewhere. You also want to find out, is this happening to everybody? Bullying is never good, but sometimes a manager can get away with it if they treat everybody the same, like terrible. If they're just miserable to everybody, then that can get labeled as that's their personality. But I think if you start talking to people, you find out, you're hoping that you can get some support in the numbers. The other thing to do is, if you're at a big company, a big corporation, you got thousands of people working there, you probably have a pretty robust HR department. They're always a good advocate. You can certainly go to an HR department, or go around your boss, go to your boss's boss. Just to forewarn you, because I have done that with an HR department at a major corporation. You're not always just going to get a quick fix. They're not going to swoop in and just take care of it for you. They're going to investigate things and try to find a way for everybody to get along. But I would look at it as the best thing about going to HR is at least you get it on record. So that way, if you complain about it again, or if other people complain about it, it's just like when you know there's a crime going on, you've got to report it to the police. They may not be able to fix it, but at least if you're getting things put on the record, patterns can be shown over time. Yeah, the other option I think you could do is, if you're just miserable, if this isn't, you don't think it's ever going to get fixed, and I found myself in that situation, then maybe it's time you leave your job. You either look for another position within your company, move into a different division or a different office, different whatever, or you leave the company entirely and go somewhere else. Nobody wants to have to do that. It's kind of always scary to have to leave a job and go try to do something else. But I think in this day and age, I don't think anybody should have to put up with being pushed around by anybody. So, if you don't think it's ever really going to get better, especially if there's a pattern amongst, a lot of workers that this is happening to, then this isn't a good environment for you to be in. So, cut your losses and go somewhere else. Lastly, and I'm just going to repeat my initial stance on it, is you've got to hit back. If you're being pushed around, I don't care whether it's, by a manager several levels up or your direct supervisor, you have got to push back. It's the same advice we have, for kids that are being pushed around. Until you stand up for yourself, it'll never get better. Others can kind of fix things and make things go away, but it's not really going to solve the problem. So you've got to push back. And a lot of times it might be just confront that manager directly and say, I don't appreciate how you treat me. I don't like how you speak to me, or the things that you're doing that are making me uncomfortable. If it's a case of obviously like a sexual harassment or something, address it right away. I don't care what kind it is or what, how they're treating it. It might be just something that they're making jokes at your expense. You need to let them know right away that you're uncomfortable, or that whatever they're doing is not good and you don't like it. Otherwise, it'll never really stop and never go away. And you may find yourself, even if you change jobs or with a different manager, you might find that it comes back again. So hit back, seriously. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, shoot me an email below or DM me on Instagram. And you can certainly get other good information off all my videos on YouTube and Instagram and my podcast on Anchor. Thank you. Take care.